like a few of those eventually we have like a little library to pull from and different.
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
I'm into it.
Let's play. Let's do this.
I'm already recording.
Shit. Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Winx Skull.
And I'm Adrienne Dilly.
And this is Marshmallow and Mimosa.
Mm-hmm.
So, very important before we get into any of the fun stuff that we have planned for today, we have a few things that we keep meaning to tell you guys about and then tangenting away from them in an extreme way.
Yep.
So, first off, we want to talk about iTunes and the reviews that you can put on iTunes. They are great. They are magical, and they help so much.
Yes, it helps other people find us that might like us and all of that jazz, and it gets people like actually we get eventually when you have enough of them, you're going to get up on the rating boards and everything. So
yeah, so that would be a huge help if you guys are listening, even if you're listening on YouTube or elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Hop over to iTunes and just rate us.
Yeah, it's just it's like 2 minutes of your time.
Not even, like 30 seconds.
You're going to start guilt tripping.
Yeah, come on.
What are you doing? Why aren't you doing it right now?
Do you know how much time we put into this podcast for you?
You don't even know.
For you, listener. But if you guys could take the time to do that, that would be lovely, and that would help us a lot. Mm-hmm. We also want to talk about Patreon. Mm-hmm. We've mentioned this a few times in our last few episodes, but we've actually got our rears in gear here, and we have done a little bit.
Rears?
Our rears. I'm throwing down some strong language.
I thought it was wheels. Is that a Missourian thing?
I don't know.
Rears and gears.
I mean, we've got our butts in gears, basically.
Yeah. Oh, go on, though. Oh,
I mean, that's
sorry, I never heard that phrase before, though.
But rear rhymes with gear, so it makes more sense.
There we go. Go on. Patreon.
Okay.
Listeners, let us know what's correct.
Yes. Marshmallows, tell us. What was I even talking about? Patreon, yeah. We are setting up on Patreon. So at the time that you are listening to this, we exist on Patreon. Mm-hmm. You can go and check us out, and you can sign up. And we're going to have a lot of really cool things on there. Probably not a surprise, we are going to make the rewards cat-themed.
Yep.
So it's going to be great. And we're going to have all sorts of different levels if you guys want to just throw like a couple bucks a month.
Some catnip.
That's mm-hmm. The catnip level. Instead of a tip jar, it's a catnip jar, which I think is adorable. That was Adrienne's idea. And then, there's going to be like bigger tiers, whatever you feel in your hearts and your wallets to give and help us out. We're gonna have a lot of really cool mm-hmm. rewards, like being able to listen to episodes early, being able to submit topic ideas or vote on topics.
Yeah, and eventually, once we have enough, we'll probably put some goals in there for either listener count or money. But we want to start like sending out some stuff that's similar-ish in a way to Book Bath Box, but mm-hmm. maybe like doing some cool custom stuff that's like I don't know if we should give some examples, but like maybe,
I would love examples.
Okay, some like enamel pins potentially, which would be amazing, but we need like a minimum of 100 people. So one of those moonshots,
exactly.
And then and I think this might be around like $5 or $10 a month, so I don't think it'll be a big deal. And then maybe even like some custom, I don't know, like some solid perfume or like the bath bomb or something that's mm-hmm. like Winx themed and it's like coffee and whatnot.
I'm all into it. So into it.
We'd love to do that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. I actually also, I don't know that this would be something in the Patreon, but since I first saw the design that Adrienne came up with for our logo, I have been envisioning these really epic leggings.
That's right. You talked about.
Yeah,
you put them in the Zazzle editor.
I made a Zazzle example pair of leggings. It's like that sort of pinkish orange color of the background, and then like the cat and just
but I do think you should try it with the constellation theme one. I think it's pretty sweet.
Well, I think both pairs. Like I don't think I need the day wear and the night wear. Mm-hmm. So I'll switch into evening wear and it'll be constellations.
I'm sure all the men supporting us would love to get a set of leggings.
There should be more. There should be more leggings for men. This is the thing. I've actually had conversations with people about it. Yeah. There's not as many cute leggings for dudes, and we need here at Marshmallow and Mimosa. We are not here for
Yeah, why am I putting like gender on that stuff? Of course, whatever.
Yeah, everybody needs cute leggings.
That's true.
Especially when it has like our logo on it.
Yes.
And you can support us. Yeah. I'm totally derailed here. But yeah, so
we're just really excited about it.
We're really excited. We've been talking about this for weeks.
Yep.
So yeah, you can go and you can check out the
Patreon.
The Patreon. Sorry, I got distracted. You can check out the Patreon. You can add whatever level of support that you would like, and we would love just to hear some feedback on it too. Like if there's something that you don't like about it, or something that you wish that we were doing, let us know.
Mm-hmm. We love more ideas. So.
Yeah. So, and also, I mean, we say it at the end, but I feel like it's worth saying multiple times that we are on multiple social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, and we've been having a few people have been tweeting at me/us on there, and we've had some good convos, and I get super excited when I see tweets at us on there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I guess because and also on Instagram, I'm doing most of the Instagram stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you put most of the pictures on there and whatnot, but I'm doing lots of like little animations and stuff because
they're so cute, you guys.
So.
They're so cute.
So good, check them out.
Yes.
All right. You ready to move on? Okay,
so now that we've gone over these important things, moving on to what we're into. And oh my god, I don't remember who did it last time.
Me either. Okay. Like rock, paper, scissors.
Who did it last and the one that you edited?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Don't know.
Okay. Well, you go first.
Okay. A few episodes ago, I don't remember which, I talked about a short by Neil Blomkamp called Raka, and it had like reptilian aliens and stuff.
I remember.
And so a few weeks ago, he came out with last week, he came out with another one called Firebase. And this one's much more like Predator kind of or something, where you have like an action hero and he's like going out and trying to like kill this like river god, and it's real crazy.
Is it in like the same world, or is it just totally separate?
Different world. Okay. It's set in Vietnam, like 1975.
Oh,
yeah, and it's
so
like,
with river gods.
Well, it's kind of really crazy, but it's following this one soldier that saw this river god while they were like fighting, and it's like this really crazy CGI stuff going on where it's like this like thing is walking through the forest and it's like a skeleton, all this like flesh comes onto it and stuff, and he's like impervious to bullets, and he just like thinks of someone and he like explodes, and it's really crazy.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was great. And these are all like 20 minutes each, and it like totally leaves you off of like a they're all as like chapter 1, and you're like, chapter 1, but I don't know. I don't think he's doing these to see if anybody will pick them up, either to make a TV show or a movie, but he's just kind of experimenting. And so hopefully they will, but they're really great as their own anyway. And he has another one called Zygote coming out on July 12th. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And I don't know if another one's coming out after that, but
how long are these?
Like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And so he's been working on these, I think, for the last, I don't know, a year or two. So he's
he's busting them out.
No, yeah, definitely he's been working on these for a while. And so, yeah, but he's just kind of, I was reading an interview and he was talking about he's just kind of sick of the Hollywood. I think I talked about this before. He's kind of sick of the Hollywood, and deal with producers and like stifling creativity and stuff. So he wants to just show some like, this is the kind of thing we could be doing, like all these amazing sci-fi kind of concepts going on.
I'm for it.
Just doing his full vision and see if anybody will pick it up. So they're so good. They're so good. Support him because he's amazing.
Epic.
And they're all on YouTube. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
You can link to him.
Yeah.
And you would have the YouTube one. Tell me about yours.
Oh, okay. I just assumed there was more.
No.
I've been doing all kinds of stuff. So, as I've mentioned in the last few episodes, it is Book Bath box season. So I have all of the boxes. I'm putting them together. And
we're surrounded by boxes.
We are surrounded
products.
Yes, so many. In fact, Adrienne helped me go on a scavenger hunt for some of the boxes today, which I very much appreciate.
I got some chocolate for you.
Yeah, I don't have a car, so
it's a good trade.
Really helpful when friends have cars, and then I get them chocolate. I have been still doing stuff. I've actually I have been moving forward with those Drist books by R.A. Salvatore. I've actually, now that I was stalling a little bit in getting back into the second book, but once I did, it took over.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been, like I said, doing audiobooks, so I've been able to listen to them while I'm doing Book Bath Box stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to the second book, the third book, and the fourth book I'm on right now.
Are you on, like, what's the Audible or something?
Yes, Audible is what I use.
They're so expensive otherwise.
Yeah, so I subscribe and I get 2 credits per month.
Okay.
But I will usually go through periods where, like right now, where I'm listening to a ton of them, and then I'll have lulls where I don't, and then the credits add up, which is great for times like this when I just want to just like
that happened to me.
Rage through a ton of them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've been listening to that, and I have a couple other books. Actually, I started one which is Off to Be the Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by Scott Meyer, and I've seen this book around just because the cover is very memorable. It's like pixel art.
Mm-hmm.
And basically this kid realizes that there's this computer program that controls reality, and so he can like set that. He found his own like entry in it, and then he changed his height, and then suddenly he was taller.
Yeah.
And then he changed his location, awesome. And suddenly he like teleports to this other place. Mm-hmm. And somehow he's going to end up, based on what I've seen from like the back of the book, he's going to travel in time and go to like the medieval times or something.
If it's all programs, then.
Exactly. And he's just going to become like Merlin because people will see his control of this as magic.
Yeah.
So,
that reminds me vaguely, you said the look on my face, there's this one book called, it sounds very, like hoity-toity, but it's The Metamorphosis of Prime Intellect.
Oh, that does sound super fancy.
I know. There's actually some pretty schlocky moments in it, but it's about this, like, computer that they create, and then it basically, it's that curve, like in you're creating computers into the point where they like create themselves.
Oh yeah.
So it creates
the singularity.
It's like it's talking about the singularity, and there's this one computer, and it's like an AI, and then it basically decides. I'm kind of spoiling this a little bit, but it it's talking about its creation and it's getting started on that, and then it's decides that humans are suffering every day and they're dying, and that's terrible because that's what a computer would decide, right? And so basically it kind of kills everybody, but it puts them into this like kind of basically a virtual environment where nobody can die.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like because it's all encompassing and
that sounds fascinating.
So that's the prime intellect of the computer.
That sounds like the fancier version of this.
The name is much fancier than the book is.
I mean, because this book is pretty not fancy. Like the character is. I mean, I don't really have a good feel for the character, but some of the stuff already I'm kind of like meh about the main guy. Mm-hmm. Mostly there was this one moment where when he's realizing that he's changed heights, he went to get this tape measure, and he makes a point of saying how his uncle gave him this toolkit because he didn't have a toolkit, but his uncle gave it to him and it was like a pink her first toolkit or something thing. And he kind of made some remark about like, oh, did you, like, I was talking to my uncle and I was like, did you realize that you gave me a pink her first toolkit? And
not realize that, but yeah.
And it just kind of gave me this moment of like, yeah, that's the kind of shit we have to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were experiencing that, guy.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, so that gave me a little bit of a weird taste for him, but I'm hoping that it improves over the course of this book. Yeah. And in general, it sounds like kind of a silly and fun thing.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to a lot of books. Mm-hmm. Also, as we previously mentioned, Adrienne and I wanted to play. I wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, but also Adrienne wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Of course.
And but I was very sad that I'd never been able to play before, and Adrienne has played a bit.
Well, I mean,
you're basically a professional.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and
Listen to a lot of D&D podcasts in my time. Yeah.
And then we talked about it, and then as a result, a group has formed, and it's super exciting. I can't wait. And actually, we're going to have a little first meeting this weekend where we will all talk about our characters and stuff. And so, of course, I bought a player's handbook, and I've been going through and trying to decide backstory for my character.
Oh, should we have that together by this weekend?
I mean, I don't think we had. We're going to talk about like character stuff.
Because I was like, crap.
But you can look through my book if you would like.
I should, actually.
Yeah. I
want to do magic this time. So.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I don't know why I was a rogue with a crossbow last time I played, and I was like, why did I do this? I want to be doing magic.
Magic is where it's at.
I know.
I have decided, though, and this, I mean...
We can't all be magicians, though, so hopefully somebody wants to be a sword person.
Yeah, actually, I think, Jess was going to do a combination, but part of it was going to be barbarian.
Okay, good.
So we've got, like, someone to throw... I
never want to be that person. So
to throw some swords and, like, maces around and junk.
Yeah.
But... So I knew I was going to be a halfling cleric because that just has to happen.
Yes, it does.
Like, that's like my identity, so I just have to play that. But an element I did not realize I would be interested in has come into play. I was thinking about what sort of domain I would be in as a cleric and what, like, god I would be doing my magic through. I assumed that I would just do the life domain or whatever the main healer one is. Because, I mean, they're all, you heal no matter what if you're a cleric. But I'm gonna do a trickster.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a trickster god as my, like, deity.
What I really like, there's one alignment that I like that you're not really supposed to play as, but it's kind of like, it's one of the chaotic ones. It's like, but not chaotic neutral.
Chaotic evil?
No, I don't want to be an evil person.
I mean, I'm going to be chaotic good.
I think it's like chaotic neutral. No, I think it's chaotic neutral where you're like a little bit just kind of like doing your own shit and like, you don't really care like one or the other, but you're not really supposed to play that way, I think so.
Yeah, because it's like the true neutral where it's like you just like don't
well,
really
like
care.
Neutral, chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Like good neutral, I think, or something. I don't even know. We should know this because we're supposed to be nerds or whatever.
Right.
That made it sound like...
What I know is...
I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, you don't know this offhand? I'm like, sorry.
Hashtag fake gamer girls.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm always waiting for that hammer to fall.
I will throw down with that hammer. No, I'm for sure chaotic good because I have decided that chaotic good is actually the best way to live one's life, IRL and in-game. So yeah, I'm going to be a chaotic good halfling cleric who worships a trickster god.
I approve of this.
And I'm very pleased with that decision.
I like the crow queen or whatever, raven queen, whatever she is. She's like one of the under the kind of like a death goddess.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Timora, who is like a goddess of good fortune, basically like gamblers. I have this thing where, so two of my friends and I have had this conversation, and I'm pretty convinced that it's actually a like Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff thing, so you may weigh in on this. But
because you're convinced I'm Hufflepuff?
I mean, it makes sense. Hufflepuffs are great. I'm personally a Gryffindor.
I'm just not entirely sure. That's all.
That's okay. We all have to figure that out in life.
Yeah, if I only had a sorting hat, and then
you're on your journey. I know, but we do the best that we can.
Exactly.
I am a Gryffindor, and my two of my best friends are a couple. Mike is a Gryffindor. Kelsey is a Hufflepuff, and Mike and I love scratcher tickets, like lotto scratcher tickets. Kelsey is like just kind of super not into it. She feels that if you win the lottery, it's like cheating.
Whoa. That's a serious opinion. Okay.
I mean, I'm like cutting out, I'm paraphrasing basically, but so it turned into this whole conversation where like if real life was The Sims, I would Control-C motherboard every day.
Oh, we've talked about
I would live my life.
Yeah.
I would just be able to do like all these cool things. It would be great. And see, this is a Hufflepuff thing. It's like you have to work your way through all the stages. No, like I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that's like playing games that instant, like playing Skyrim. I get to level 30, and then I'm like, why am I even playing this game anymore? It's so easy. Like, what am I even doing with my life here? Like, and then I'm just like, it was about the struggle, not about where I'm at now. I need to, so.
Adrienne, you are a
It's
Hufflepuff.
about the struggle.
You are a Hufflepuff.
Life is about the struggle.
You are loyal, and like it's about like putting in the work, and just like that. That's just such a Hufflepuff thing, which is great. But meanwhile, Mike and I will be living in a fancy mansion because we just won the lotto.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fantastic.
And then I'll be like, sell that mansion. Let's figure out a way to like give scholarships to underprivileged students with that money, and then we'll like figure out.
But see, I could do that with that money. Whereas,
you'd have like extra. Gotcha.
Yeah, like I would be able to do everything because I just had the money. I would just be able to jump in and do all the things I want to do, instead of having to like struggle my way up to being able to do all that. Like I would just scratch a ticket and then I would win.
Feel compelled to like give all my money away if I just next day I found myself like a millionaire. I'd be like, what? No, I need this on. Like I'd make a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for myself and like start doing all that stuff or something.
Okay. Listeners, leave a comment, especially if you're on YouTube, or send us a message on Twitter. Tell us what house you're in, Harry Potter-wise, and what your feelings are on this.
Yeah, because I want to see a Ravenclaw opinion, and it seems like nobody's Slytherin. Do people actually identify as Slytherin?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Slytherin, because they have a bad rap, but they're just ambitious.
Yes. And so I took a Harry Potter quiz recently, and I never am satisfied with any results of any Harry Potter quiz, like house thing ever. But the clear Slytherin answer was absolutely talking about like psychopaths. And I was like, that seems a little extreme.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, I'll do anything to get people out of my... Like, this like phrase in this way that was like, I will tear them down and I will kill them to get past them.
They're just like throwing in Death Eater in the like...
Yes! I felt like they were like putting a Death Eater as the house.
They're basically just like describing it, yeah.
Yes.
A
little extreme.
I'm not... Slytherins, I'm here for you.
Yeah, no.
You are legit. You are legit, and you are ambitious, and you have things to do, and you're not... Like, not every Slytherin is Voldemort.
No. They just put Malfoy, like, front and center.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so everyone has a bad rap, but... Yeah. We know the truth here at Marshmallow Mimosa. We know the truth.
Do we... What was, this... Oh, tangents, man. We're probably really far into the podcast, too. Yeah. What's the character in Fantastic Beasts? What's his name? I wonder what house he was in. Because he went to Hogwarts, right?
I would have to look this up.
Yeah, I'm just curious, because I liked Fantastic Beasts a lot. I really like the characters in that. So, he's like my favorite Harry Potter character, like, period. So, yeah. I think I just like seeing the adult world more.
No, that's totally fair.
Expanding the universe a lot. I don't know, it was just like when I saw the like America, like their like justice system, I was like mind blown. I was so.
It's also just like a great era.
Yes,
like
everything
20s,
about it, I loved
like,
it.
It's just I have such a thing for like 20s style and everything. Yeah.
So then I was like, I'm past the teenager stuff. I don't want to watch Harry Potter as a 17-year-old anymore. I want to watch adults with jobs, like. Struggling
as Hufflepuffs.
He's probably a Hufflepuff.
Probably. It's probably why you like him so much. You see yourself a little bit.
He's struggling to take care of all those animals. I think he's a super animal lover.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that's also a worthwhile thing. So this is the point is...
what were we talking about?
I actually just realized that, like, how far I had actually tangented. My halfling cleric is... I'm basically just picturing... I know. I'm basically just picturing this halfling cleric that's sitting around in, like, some tavern of Neverwinter scratching off, like, scratcher's cards. And winning the lotto with
it'll be a good
her deity's powers
character, because mine probably won't be like that.
No, I think it's gonna be great. I'm super excited, so we're gonna do that. And I've been reading the handbook a lot and trying to come up with like backstory.
I'm probably gonna try to convince the group that it should like be on YouTube or something. I don't know if everybody will be into it though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for that, but I also totally understand that some people are not into that. So, but. We can also give you guys updates on what's going on.
That's true.
That can be a spinoff. That's another thing. We want to work on which might be part of the Patreon or whatever, as we kind of grow a little bit, we would like to work on doing other cool content things. So that would be super fun. And the other thing that I've been working on is that I decided to do Japanese on Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm refreshing because I had learned some in college, and I am just trying to go through that.
I feel instantly like I should put you on the spot and say something in Japanese.
I knew that you would. I knew that you would. Nihongo o chotto hanashimasu.
What does it mean?
That means I speak a little Japanese. And neko ga daisuki dayo means I love cats.
Nice.
Exclamation point. And that was a terrible accent, and I apologize to everyone from Japan. But
it's hard stuff to learn.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing. On to the things that we wanted to talk about. We have some fun topics. Fun topics about stress.
Woo!
Yay! So we're both kind of coming up to some deadlines on various projects, and so it's kind of a stressful time for both of us getting all of our things done on time. And I felt like that was worth talking about because projects are stressful, and I think that is a thing worth acknowledging. We do all of these things, and we're very like giggly, happy people, but we do also get very stressed.
I love your slightly rambly introduction to topics. That was
Thank you.
They're great.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Glad somebody enjoys this. So for me, as I mentioned, Book Bath Box, this is the thing. And I have never before sent out this many boxes. I have a few things that I'm doing differently that will hopefully cut down on how much time it takes to put them together. And I've wrangled in a few people, Adrienne included, to help me put the boxes together. But there's still a lot of boxes, like 250 boxes that are being assembled. 249 because I gave one to Adrienne already. Woo, yay. But yeah, so one example of the stress is the aforementioned adventure that Adrienne and I went on earlier. So there was this whole thing where the bath product that I ordered for the box, I had been messaging with the seller, who is amazing, by the way, and everyone who gets this box is going to be super excited because it's a great bath product. It's super great. And yeah, so we had been messaging a lot back and forth about, how things are going, just updates on how many boxes are going out. And in the midst of that, I had said, hey, here's an address to send it to. But then when I paid on PayPal, I forgot to change the default address, and the default address goes to my day job because I order a lot of random stuff and it's easier to get it sent there. The address I meant to have it sent to was my home. And so some of the boxes that had been sort of labeled earlier, I'm assuming, got actually sent to my apartment. Some of them got sent to my work. And the seller realized this after sending them, and she thought that she had sent like over half of the boxes to an old address on accident. And meanwhile, I'd noticed it, but I just thought, oh, well, I'll work around this and, whatever. So meanwhile, she's having like a full panic attack, and I feel so terrible. Yeah. She's calling USPS, like trying to figure out how to get them from stopping the delivery and to like figure it out and to get it and hold them. So she's so awesome, and she got them to hold the boxes at this random post office. So meanwhile, I had made my own plans to get the boxes picked up from work, and then I realized what she was doing, so we're just having this whole back and forth conversation throughout the day, and it was totally fine. Adrienne saved the day, and
with my car,
with her car, a lovely little Honda Fit, and we picked up all of the boxes, and now they are in my apartment.
The post office people were really confused.
They were really confused. They thought that my name was a name of a business
or something.
I didn't totally understand the questions. Yeah. It was a little confusing, but I now have it and it was fine. But it's just kind of an example of the kind of things that come up that cause you to stress. Yeah, because it was one of those things where I knew that I wanted to work on the box this weekend, and I wanted to have all of the bath products here so that way I could put them in all of the boxes, and it would just save time. So I was kind of panicked about getting them on time, and it adds up. But I will say that one of the things I like to do in these moments is to sort of know when it's going to get stressful and then prepare for that.
Yeah.
So I've been doing stuff like prepping for self-care stuff, and I took a really nice book bath the other night, and then my girlfriend got me a lovely little like self-care package, which had bath bombs that look like pills.
It's awesome,
and they're called chill pills. Yeah, so cute. So stuff like that, and just having like snacks and things that I know will make me feel better in those moments, and it's been helping a lot. I feel like I've actually hit several points this time where I would have really freaked out and panicked, but I've been holding it together.
It's all about just getting the experience and realizing, like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, like it's actually not a big deal, and there's actually 20 different ways that I can get around this, and it's gonna be fine. And
are you a procrastinator?
Yes.
Okay. But now you know how to, like, manage this.
I'm a procrastinator when it comes to my own stuff.
Yeah.
Like things that only affect me. But when I'm doing things for other people, I'm better about it.
Right.
And
people
I think
are expecting this,
And I think it just kind of depends on the level of expectation that's on it.
That makes sense.
So, for example, the last time I edited one of the videos, or one of the podcasts, God, I will never, this is just going to be a thing.
That's okay.
Forever. The last time I'm poodle, yeah.
We probably haven't defined what poodle means.
No, we were talking about this earlier, so I'm just going to totally scrap that story that I was going to talk about. But
leave you hanging.
Poodles. I have decided that I think that the poodle is like the symbol of authenticity and just embracing the things that you do and your vulnerability and living your best life.
Yeah.
So we were talking about doing something where we're like giving our poodle moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just realized that, like, last weekend, Cole and I were eating at the nice area in front of this nice grocery store, and somebody put their little adorable brown toy poodle up right next to it, and they were like, you can pet her. And it was the cutest poodle I've ever seen in my life. It was so cute.
Did you take a picture?
No, I should have. I know, I should have. And I was just realizing, I'm like, I would be okay having a poodle, like, after seeing this little guy. And because then I cut my Scotty Dog's hair growing up, and I realized that I really enjoyed that. And with a poodle, you can do all crazy kind of shit with their hair. It would be so amazing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, poodle. And then I had this dream that Cole bought me that, like, a little brown poodle just like that. And I was like, I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I can have a dog right
now. That's amazing.
But I just realized, I was like, like, I have a literal poodle moment. Like, a literal poodle in my life moment this week.
I should actually ask my neighbors, because they have a dog that it's like the breed where its hair continually grows and it gets really fluffy and it has curly hair. I should suggest a poodle cut.
Yeah.
Because that would be adorable.
It'll grow back. Give it a try. They should do a mohawk too.
They've done several.
It's white. They could also do a little bit of, like, dye down the back of the hair. There's, like, dog dye that's fine.
There is, but this dog has really sensitive skin. I just feel like that would go terrible.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
No, yeah, like, this dog has
a little, like, sample patch on the paw.
This dog has, like, chronic, like, rashes. It's just like he's so lucky to have these parents, because they take such good care of him. And he's like, he's allergic to grass, so he can't go outside, and just, like, it's such a, like, they put these, like, salmon drops in his ears or something, because he gets, like, dry ears, and it's just this poor little dog. But he does have hair that's very similar to a poodle's, and so I think that he would have a really cute, like, poodle aesthetic. Yeah. So, but we would love to hear about your poodle moments out there.
Yes.
Like, and we should do a segment where we talk about ours.
Yes. Maybe at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about stuff I'm...
what's going on with you with deadlines and stress?
So as of this weekend, it's Friday. Monday, I'm starting to teach a class on design foundations. And I'm teaching with another person, so that lowers the stress level a lot. But
that's still really impressive.
Teaching a class?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Everybody keeps on telling me I'm a good designer, so I just have to believe it at some point. Oh, we should talk about imposter syndrome sometime. That's a good one.
Oh, yes.
I think a lot of people talk about it, but everybody likes to hear us talk, right? So.
No, this is important. And, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw out one thing. Which I wanted to talk, at some point, we want to talk about nerd music. And just like nerdy things in general. But
yeah, I don't have a lot of labeled nerd music, so you'll probably be handling most of that.
Okay, there's going to be a section where I just talk about nerd music.
I can talk about my music I like. Maybe people like it or not. We'll find out.
But I've mentioned before the double clicks, and this came up on Twitter. But one of my favorite songs by them, if you have not listened to them, or even if you have listened to them but you haven't heard this song, you should check out Imposter, because it is a song about the Curiosity Mars rover, like waking up on Mars and the imposter syndrome that it fears, or that it feels, where it's like, everyone is expecting me to do these great things.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that one.
And so it's like, I'm just faking it and pretending that I know what I'm doing, but I really have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm a robot. It's great.
Yeah.
Go listen to it. Carry on.
Yes. So I took off today, Friday, and Monday, mainly because I just kind of felt like I needed a break from work, because I've been there. I just started the job like 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm just like, now I feel okay taking a day off, A, and then B, I just feel like I need a break. But also, I just need to like preload a bunch of the materials for the class, because we already have it pretty planned out, but making all the presentations and stuff is just a lot of work. So doing a bunch of that work and just having to, this kind of goes directly into what I was going to talk about, like how I deal with it, but it's all about like lists. I will always talk about lists. And just like organizing things. Organization is like key.
So true.
Yeah. And just like trying to like, it's just all about like how, if you do enough projects, you start learning how to keep yourself going, like getting yourself in the space that you're going to actually keep on working and be working productively. And also, if you get stuck, how you get past that moment. Because there's a lot of times where I just like start losing steam, and then I'm like just staring at the wall, and I didn't even realize it, and then you can't get out of that space. So it's like finding a way to be like, I do like reward myself sometimes too, being like, if I get through an hour of this, then I can go do that thing, or I can go work on this project that I actually want to work on right now, or whatever.
Totally.
But, yeah. It's actually, I'm not actually that stressed out, which is nice. I think it's just I've been doing so much over the last 2 years now or so. Like I just like my whole like life changed to doing tons of stuff all the time, and it's like now I'm kind of like going like, calm down with all the projects. Let's just do projects you really want to be working on, like that kind of thing. And so I'm just kind of like, it'll all work out now, because I'm just like, I've pushed myself so hard that it's just like, this seems really, I don't know. I like the person I'm teaching with. It doesn't seem that big of a deal. Like kind of so yay.
I mean, yeah, that's a good way to come at it. You know what you're doing.
Well, I think it's also like, I know myself that I'm going to be super stressed out before it happens. Then I walk into class and I see everybody's face and I go, oh, you're just a person. Like, yeah. And I can talk to you and it's going to be fine. And you're going to, like you're going to want to hear what I have to say. Like, so.
I was just saying this earlier today where it's just kind of an accepted fact to me now that this week before I send out boxes, I'm going to be really stressed.
Yeah. No
matter how together I am, I'm going to be stressed. Mm-hmm. Even if I don't personally realize how stressed I am, the people around me notice it. Like, I've already been talking to Jess and to Kelsey, and they're reminiscing about how stressed I was last time.
I remember you saying you stayed up to like 5 a.m. one night or something.
Yeah. But then to me, I'm just like, oh, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. I wasn't that stressed, but people remember me as just walking around with eyes twitching and like hair sticking up in weird angles. Yeah. So I think it's one of those things where after so many times of realizing the same thing happens, it's easier to deal with. And you just kind of like, I'm starting to transition into the, I know I'm probably going to be stressed, but I also know it's going to be fine.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like the, that's good about being like introvert, being like very introspective all the time, is that you like can realize the patterns in your life, and you can go like, oh, I know that's going to happen. And now that I feel like I realize that, I get anticipation stress.
Yeah.
It's kind of like making that go away now over time.
Totally.
I think maybe if I had to like present to 200 people, I would probably be really stressed out just because I don't present to people. Like this is like class of 8 people, and I'm like, I can talk to a group of 8. I like leading little groups. It's easy for me now. Like, so it's like, it doesn't seem that stressful when I actually, so.
Makes sense. It's almost like name magic, where you know the true name of your anxiety. Yeah. And so now that you've thrown it out, that it's the anticipation, now you've taken all its power.
Okay. See, tangents. There's a podcast I love called Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Okay.
And it's
I'm already sold.
It's great. It's improv show where this guy was magically teleported, like a normal guy, magically teleported to this land called Foon, and he broadcast from this bar. I'm like basically saying his intro. He says this every single time. He broadcasts from this pub in this like magical universe with his like wizard pal and his like, little shape-shifting buddy who's always a badger, a talking badger. And what was I even going to say about this? Like, just got really distracted.
Magic? Yeah.
So like let's just do Inception on this. They have this basically this Dungeons and Dragons in that they talk about every once in a while, but it's offices and bosses, and they talk about the way they like make fun of like like talking about like sales and like just like they talk about like because they're so them as characters are used to things being magic all the time,
right?
And so they like think that like offices and bosses is like super interesting and it's like all this crazy shit's going on and like so they like did a little spin-off podcast, but I think you could only get it on some like Howl FM or like some like random place, but I need to listen to it. But it just like made me go like we should be like making our own little like magical like sorry, like as a halfling cleric that works as a technical writer. What is that? Like
that would be amazing.
That, like,
that would actually be amazing. Okay, we'll have to percolate on that.
Yes.
And also, I had as we were talking about this, I'm going to bring it all the way back around to like our second episode where we were talking about failures, because one of the things that helps get me through my seasonal book bath box stress is that I had that one really terrible process of the winter box where it was out of print and everything went wrong and there was like snow everywhere and ice and they couldn't deliver things. It was just terrible. But knowing that I survived that, and that I continued, like the business didn't dissolve, helps me realize when the things that might not go exactly according to plan, it's actually not a big deal at all.
Yeah. That's another topic we need to discuss at some point, of being like pushing yourself to know your limits, because a lot of people don't even push themselves to know, like you have to, like, that's the only way. You have to push yourself, and if you fail, you fail. It doesn't matter, just...
And then you reassess.
Yeah. You're not going to die.
This is basically the episode where we just brainstorm.
Yeah. I have that down on our list.
That's true, yeah. We're doing really good. So yeah, unless you had other things to talk about with your deadlines.
No, but we are doing better. We're more focused this week. Last week was a mess, and we're sorry.
We are really sorry. We were just all over the place in that one, but hopefully it was mildly entertaining. It didn't even have to do really with anything like entrepreneurial projects.
Things we like. Yeah.
This is just things we like, but that's just going to come up. So
we also say we're nerdy, so whatever.
That's true. We are nerdy, and we need to do fun things outside of projects sometimes. The other thing that we're going to talk about is actually somewhat related, but just talking about backburnering projects and hobbies. So at what point do you end up putting something on the back burner? At what point does something lose priority? What are the things that tend to lose priority for you?
Sorry, that sounded like extra loud for some reason. I feel like my life is just lists are a deep part of my soul now, and I feel like I have a kind of a constant list. So I'm constantly creating things. that's kind of just who I am. I just want to be always making artwork or whatever, just making a podcast, doing this thing, right?
Right.
Let's make a business. Let's do it like all the time.
Study how to make animation.
Yes.
Yeah.
After Effects this week, so I have this kind of like a constant what I'm doing in my life to-do list, and it's a constant reassessing. So I'm like constantly coming with ideas, pursuing them a little bit, putting them back burner, like coming back. Like it's just like I don't even know if I have like it's a kind of thing where the projects that I have responsibilities for, like this podcast or whatnot, or with them other people, those are like I'm responsible, so I will follow those through.
Right.
I do have to I just basically I need to get better at this, but I will take on too many things, and then I basically just can't do it anymore. I have to be like, I'm sorry, I just I have to admit to the whoever I said we should pursue this or do that thing. I'm like, I have way too much on my plate. I can't, So those are those usually just opportunities that sometimes just go away if you don't pursue them. But it's unfortunate. Like all these art projects I'm talking about, it's like there's a few of them. I'm like in 6 months, 4 months, whatever. I want to pick that one back up. I just but I don't know. That was kind of rambly and me talking about how I'm just ever shifting.
I mean, it makes sense though. It's a process of figuring out what you are willing to do, what you have time to do, what deserves your priorities.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
I think whatever my birth, whatever stuff is fire. And I'm like, yeah, this is it's constant. Yeah. And I burn myself out. And then I'm
fire elemental.
Yes.
We're already adding to this fantastical world.
Yeah. Can I be some kind of fire elemental? That sounds great for D&D.
Sure.
Let's find out.
We will consult the handbook. I'm sure there's
the book.
The book. The Grimoire. Yes, I'm sure there's there's fire mages, right?
Yeah, that was interesting though.
I mean, that's pretty cool where you throw...
There is elemental creatures. I just don't know if they're part of this and you can play them. It depends on the
world. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would assume that you could be like a warlock and summon your elemental.
Yeah, they do have you have there's storm, or blah, blah, blah. But there is elemental creatures, so I should look.
Right, yeah. I'm admittedly pretty focused in on a couple particular classes,
right.
like clerics.
Yeah.
So my knowledge of these other ones is lacking.
But you tell me about your backburner stuff.
I will tell you about that stuff. So 3 things. I'm sure 4 things. All the things. First thing, I have noticed historically that as soon as I start feeling like I have all these things happening, when I hit this point of the season where Book Bath Box is becoming more, it's going to take more of my time, writing gets backburnered for me. My personal writing stuff. And it's silly because it's one of the main things that I want to work on. Right. I have some very specific book ideas and writing ideas that I want to continue working on and that I hope to eventually make into something that I can put out into the world. And that would be super cool. But it always gets pushed back. And so that is one area that I am actually actively trying to stop myself from. And I'm pseudo starting now because I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself with all of the Book Bath Box stuff going on. But especially once the boxes go out, I am committing to spending at least an hour every day writing before or after work.
Nice.
I write during work because I am a writer, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same. And I just realized that I'm not making the kind of progress that I would like to make. And I have all these ideas and I have notebooks I carry around with me and I jot down notes, but I don't spend the time really just sitting down and fleshing it out as I would like to. So that is one thing that I want to work on changing. But also one thing that I've noticed that there are some areas where I will backburner some hobby or something, and it becomes this ultimate source of struggle for no reason. And the key example here is YouTube. At this point, I have realized how silly it is to stress over it. But it used to be every time I would get stressed and I just didn't have time to film and edit, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I mean, you do if you make videos, but editing takes forever.
Right.
And I am too much of a perfectionist, which is another topic that we want to talk about at some point. I'm too much of a...
Winx the perfectionist is like the... yeah.
Yeah. It's just the ultimate perfectionist. So, yeah, I have perfectionism and control problems sometimes when it comes to creative content. But I want to edit the videos. I want to take the time to make them like up to whatever standards that I have. But I also forever want to have them coming out on like a regular basis. And
Right, yeah.
my ideal is 3 per week, which is really too much.
Yeah,
when
that's
I'm
a lot.
having too much going on.
You have a full-time job.
Yeah. So, so it's one of the things that I've accepted now, but I used to have such a struggle with it. And I always felt like I had to apologize to everyone if I like took a break for a while. And after doing that a couple times, I realized that nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they enjoy seeing my videos because, you know, like they're my friends and my community and stuff. But every time I would post something and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I've been gone for several weeks and I've just been stressed and all these things. Everybody just leaves a comment that's like, you need to take care of yourself and we love you. And like, just so nice. And I'm like, you guys, you are the actual best. And so it's one of those things where I realize that I'm putting this ridiculous pressure on myself to keep something going when I can pause it very easily and it's not a big deal, and then prioritize the things that I actually want to invest the time in and like actively keep working on, like writing. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I've been thinking about while I've been in this book bath box like crunch time. The only other thing that I wanted to kind of talk on in that vein is that I have realized, and I don't know if you've realized this for yourself, Adrienne, or listeners, but marshmallows / poodles. Poodles. Whenever I am in this kind of zone where I'm like hyper aware of my time, actually, I've mentioned this before, my Hermione's necklace thing that I do.
Today?
Yeah, I have it on right now because I'm like in that zone. But for some reason, when I'm so aware, I think I just heard there's like a dog barking.
Yep.
Hi, neighbor dog. So whenever I am in that zone of like being super hyper aware of my time management, it makes me want to do more things. Which is counterintuitive to everything I'm trying to do. But I'm totally in that zone where I'm like, why of all points in time, when I need to get 250 book bath boxes out the door in like a week, why have I decided to start learning Japanese and also to dedicate like an hour every day to writing?
I think it goes into procrastination. Okay. Oh, another thing. Okay, yeah.
That's a good point.
Another thing my coworker, another designer I work with, convinced me that I should do this, but I also was just like, yeah, I want to do that. But it's like submitting to this magazine. I like it, just a piece of artwork. And so I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that this weekend. And like, so it's due Monday too. And so I'm just like, and I'm totally, but I think it's also like, I'm rewarding myself for getting, you know, if I get halfway through, if I like rough out a few of these lectures or something, then I can spend, you know, a few hours working on that project. Like, it's just, I necessarily need my mental break from the thing that's much more difficult for me to be doing, and the concentration level and all this time. So I kind of feel like I'm starting to get better at like going like, yes, I'm going, ooh, but that looks way more interesting and shiny over there. Like, that kind of feels like that when you have something that's like monotonous, putting together hundreds of boxes.
Right.
You're like, but I could just be over here on my, you know, learning Japanese on this app. Like, it's way more, you know, and it feels more of that, it's probably releasing more like endorphins as you're doing it and all this stuff.
Oh yeah,
so
especially because it's like very, you know, you get the answers right and it makes little noises and it's just very gratifying.
So I think it's like your brain's just going like telling you, you're looking at all this and it's just a mountain of work to do still. And you're just like...
This is a great point, because I think it definitely, and I justify a lot of it where I say that, you know, like, I'm going to be doing all of this, I'm going to need a break. I'll need something to just switch gears with. But then I get a lot of those gear switching things.
Yeah.
And then
it doesn't feel like a easy reward stuff that you're staffing yourself to though. So it's like, yeah, it's
a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm at least going in sort of aware.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not putting as much pressure on myself on the writing stuff, but I think it's helping me to keep motivated and to keep working on it, because I do really want to work on it.
Yeah, and in terms of like giving yourself rewards while you're doing all this work, I feel like that ties into me the other thing I talked about, during the productivity thing. I have that like Pomodoro timer. Just like timers are really helpful for me when I have something that needs to be. I need my time managed today. I need to get a lot of things done, and so being like, okay, doing 2 or 3 hours of this thing and forcing myself to do that, you can have like a long lunch and you can like play a game for an hour, like giving and then like it really makes things I'm way more productive if I plan out my day like that. So.
I mean, yeah, and I was actually going to mention the app that I talked about in that episode with the Habitica, because that's a huge one for me.
I almost downloaded that. I need to. I forgot.
It's so good. Yeah, I'm almost level 100.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's mostly just because I will make like to-dos and stuff for everything. And then I have a ton of habits, and I do all positive reinforcement. I don't like the negative habits.
Right.
So, but I'll have some that are honestly kind of silly. Like there's one that just says win. And so it's like when I feel like something good just happened.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, when it's like I don't have a specific to do for it or a specific habit, I'll just go and hit the win button.
I mean, if you're like in the middle of the afternoon and you just like go get like an iced tea or something, like, like it's
when I do something that's like helpful for me or for something like anything in life. Actually, I have one that is for drinking coffee before work because it makes me less grumpy when I get it.
There you go.
So it's like I start my day a little bit better if I do that. So I'll hit that. Yeah. So things like that I think definitely are helpful with keeping all the projects going. So that's basically the topics, and we're coming up to an hour.
We did it.
We did it. Yes. I'm going to hit that button on Habitica.
Woo! And then you hit level 100 right now on this podcast.
How cool would that be?
We talked about all the social media stuff at the beginning. Did you want to talk about it again?
It bears repeating.
Okay. If you do it.
Yes. So you guys, again, iTunes, it's so important.
Yes.
It means a lot to us if you go and give us a rating, but you can also subscribe, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you are subscribing on there, definitely give us a like and some comments. There's been a few comments, and I promise I'm going to respond to them. I've been, as mentioned, a little bit busy with all the Book Bath Box stuff, but we have been seeing them and love them.
Yeah, we read every comment, and just I have social anxiety about online things still, so I just need to deal with that. Respond. And I love every comment. I just
need to manage my time better so I can respond. But yeah, it means a lot. And also, Adrienne is making fabulous artwork. It changes every time. Sometimes it's a little slight difference. Sometimes it's a dramatic, amazing, new, cute thing, such as in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago. So yeah, definitely check that out and watch that. And you can follow us and tweet at us on Twitter at Marshmallow Mimosa. We are also on Instagram, Marshmallow and Mimosa. You can find us at marshmallowandmimosa.com, and you can email us at marshmallowandmimosa@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you and hear your thoughts and all the things. Please tell your friends about us as well so we can continue to grow and
Patreon.
And Patreon. That's do that.
It's a long list.
So many things. We owe you guys a lot, but that's why we're going to make cool Patreon things.
Exactly.
And I don't know. It's great. Just join the crew.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody's listening still because we did the long. They already a lot of listeners already. Whatever.
They've dropped off.
Anyway,
but it's
fine. We're season 1. I feel like we're kind of all over the place, but we're trying to narrow down on what you guys like and what we like doing and all that stuff. So if you have any suggestions about part of the podcast that you enjoyed, the format or whatever, you can always let us know in whatever way you see fit.
Definitely. So there you go. Do all the things. Be your true poodle self.
Yep.
And to all you moonshot marshmallows out there.
Yes. To all, good night.
Yes. End music.